Have the Nuggets already done everything that they needed to do in free agency? This is your Denver Sports Daily for July 2nd.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
Short answer, yeah, it seems like it. They have done everything that they needed to do in free agency, at least from my point of view. Now, the Nuggets started free agency hot on Monday, signing Bruce Brown and trading away Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson. Now, those two moves were more than we've seen from this team in past years. In free agency in the offseasons, in past years, we've seen more loss than gain for this team. And that's why they haven't been able to go back to the NBA Finals after winning in 2023. I mean, you've seen players like Bruce Brown leave, KCP gone, Reggie Jackson, bye. All those players are leaving. And what are we getting in return? Basically nothing. Now, the front office of the Nuggets is being aggressive. They are going out there and they are making things happen. And it didn't stop. It didn't stop on a Monday, and it definitely didn't stop yesterday. They made two more substantial moves. Early in the day, the Nuggets made a trade with the Sacramento Kings, straight up Jonas Valanciunas for Dario Saric. I was shocked. I'm still shocked. What were the Kings thinking, first of all? And how could the Nuggets pull that off? And I mispronounced his name, sorry. It's Jonas Valanciunas, is a solid big. I mean, this guy is the definition of a big, a center. I mean, he'll be a great backup to Nikola Jokic. This is one thing that the Nuggets have lacked for so long. Just a backup center. I mean, we'll get into the bench depth in a little bit, but a backup center, a true backup center, not DeAndre Jordan, who's still playing the 50 years old. Somebody like Jonas Valanciunas who can come in and make things happen, even if he's not the one scoring or passing the ball. He'll be there to take off some of the weight from Nikola Jokic's shoulders. That could be the best move of the entire offseason. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I'm very high on how that's exactly what you wanted to do. I mean, last season, Valanciunas averaged 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. That's a huge upgrade from Dario Saric, who rarely stepped on the court. And also, Valanciunas still has 2 more years on his contract. So the Nuggets have him this year and the year after that. He's being paid $10 million each year. Now, that is much more than Saric's $5.2 million for 1 year. So that's probably why the Kings were thinking of making that trade. They wanted to dump a little bit of salary out. Now, Denver didn't stop there. They kept their foot on the pedal, signing Tim Hardaway Jr. later in the day on a 1-year deal. Now, Hardaway is a solid backup veteran point guard who will be able to provide a substantial shooting boost off the bench. Last year, Hardaway averaged 11 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. And again, I'll get into the bench depth in a little bit, but perimeter shooting was also a struggle for the Nuggets last season. They shot the least amount of threes in the league, and with the addition of Hardaway, they now have a specialist who can knock down from anywhere on the court. I mean, this guy's a proven three-point shooter. He's a solid defensive player, a true backup point guard, so they won't have to rely on Russell Westbrook, who can kind of fluctuate. I mean, we all know the Russell Westbrook experience. They won't have to rely on Westbrook. They won't have to rely on Julian Strawther, who's a shooting guard, to come in and play at that point guard position. Bench depth. Now, that's what I was talking about earlier. The Nuggets have consistently had the worst bench in the league, and it mostly comes when Nikola Jokic comes off the floor. He steps off the floor, and immediately the Nuggets become the worst team in NBA history, and that is not an over-exaggeration. That is actual stats. Looking at their plus minuses, looking at what the team offensive and defensive rating becomes when Nikola Jokic steps on and off the court, they factually go from the best team in the history of the NBA when Nikola Jokic is on the floor to the worst team in the history of the NBA when Nikola Jokic is off the floor. Now they have a true bench. They have a real bench. Listen to this. The Nuggets' first 10 men are looking spectacular. And the starting lineup, first of all, Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. Solid. You know, you're looking at Cam Johnson coming in for MPJ. Great move overall. More of a consistent 3-and-D wing. A real shooter, lockdown shooter who's consistent and then can also play defense. But to get to the bench, and I'm just going off positions here. Point guard, Tim Hardaway Jr. Shooting guard, Julian Strawther. Small forward, Bruce Brown. Power forward, Payton Watson. And then center, Jonas Valanciunas. And then also you got Duran Holmes, who's in there somewhere. Look at that bench one more time. Tim Hardaway Jr., Julian Strawther, Bruce Brown, Peyton Watson, and Jonas Valanciunas. That team will win games in the league. That starting five will win a solid amount of games. They won't be the best. They probably won't even make the play-in. But that team right there, that starting five, wins you games. And that's just the bench of the Denver Nuggets. Very exciting time that we are living in right now for the Denver Nuggets. You're watching a championship team be rebuilt stronger. You look at the championship squad that the Nuggets had back in 2023. This might be better. And I will stand by that. They might be better. Now, moving on, the Nuggets added a few more pieces to the coaching staff. With David Adelman leaving his assistant coach spot to take over the head coaching duties, he now has some spots to fill, and it's his job to fill them. Yesterday, the Nuggets hired both J.J. Barea and Rodney Billups as assistant coaches. Now, both of those names may sound familiar. And now J.J. Barea already has some experience with David Adelman, as he played for him when he was on the Minnesota Timberwolves, when Rick Adelman was the head coach and David was on that staff. Now, Barea is most notably known for the role he played in helping the Mavericks win the NBA Finals back in 2011. And he was great then, but now he's stepping into a coaching role. He was in the league, I believe, up until 2017. So he was still in the league just a couple of years ago. And we look at these coaches who were players all around the league, a good amount of the time, they're solid. You know, they're really good. You look at JJ Redick, he's a great coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. And that's the only good thing you'll ever hear come out of my mouth about the Los Angeles Lakers. But he's a solid coach. And now you get another JJ and another championship winning coach. He's won a championship on the floor for the Mavericks. What can he do as an assistant coach for the Denver Nuggets? Again, I'll be excited to see how this pans out. And then Rodney Billups. It's also a familiar name in Denver. He played for DU and broke multiple records. But most notably, his brother, Chauncey Billups, played for the Denver Nuggets during the peak of his career. Now, the Nuggets will continue to look for more coaches to fill out the staff, but this is a great start to the search. They're going to keep looking for more coaches. And again, it's great that, Adelman gets to choose who's coming in where, what's your job going to be? How do I get you on my staff? And what's your role going to look like? That's a great position for David Adelman to be in. Now, moving on, the Avalanche are on the other side of the spectrum when it comes to free agency. Instead of getting as lucky as the Nuggets, where more players seem to be coming in, the Avs are seeming to lose more players as they're leaving. They're not getting the players in. Players are leaving. Yesterday, the Avalanche lost Jonathan Drouin and Ryan Lindgren, and they also lost Miles Wood and Charlie Coyle earlier last week. Now, Lindgren signed with the Seattle Kraken yesterday on a 4-year, $18 million deal, followed by Jonathan Drouin, who signed with the New York Islanders on a 2-year, $8 million contract. Obviously, those two players are known in Denver. Jonathan Drouin, of course, played a solid role, especially during the regular season. This year, too, he was very solid this year, but in the playoffs, kind of fell off a little bit. However, the Avs were able to retain Parker Kelly on a 4-year, $6.8 million extension. So they need to keep keeping players and not keep losing players. But that's kind of where the Avs are at right now. It's going to be a little bit of a sticky situation heading into next season. But that'll do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I will see you guys in a week and a half because I'm going to be out tomorrow and on Friday. There's going to be no shows tomorrow and Friday as 4th of July comes. And then all next week, I'm going to be up celebrating with my family up in Minnesota. So we will have fill-in hosts coming on the show all next week. So I will see you guys all Monday after next. It's going to be a little bit of time off, but I'm very excited to get back with you guys and recap everything that happened while I was gone. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. And then also, I forgot to mention this yesterday. There is NFL football this month. July is here. There is an NFL preseason game this month featuring the Chargers and I believe the Lions. NFL is back. We're in the same month as NFL football. Can you believe it? I hardly can. I'm excited for it. You know it. But that'll do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I'll be back with you guys the Monday after next. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day, a great weekend, and a great 4th of July. Bye, y'all.